Hey guys, what's up? I hope everyone's safe. So today the recipe which we're doing is a very complex recipe and is very famous on the streets of India. It's called as a Tikki Papdi Chaat. So for that we're gonna make multiple things and I'm gonna show all the techniques that we're gonna cover for this video. So we're starting off by making the tamarind chutney. So this is a very quick tamarind chutney. You don't require a lot of ingredients and a lot of time for this. Hence I selected this recipe for the video. So what I've done is on my pan I added water and I've added my jaggery sugar. So what happens is if you use jaggery sugar it becomes easier for it to melt and reduces the cooking time, but if you have whole jaggery you can add that, it's not a problem at all. So you can see how quickly my jaggery melted away. So this is a jaggery powder basically, and now I'm gonna add the masalas. So I've added salt, black salt and chili powder. Salt and black salt are basically gonna add flavor and tanginess to the product, and the red chili powder is gonna add some spiciness, but it's gonna give good flavor because it is a Kashmiri red chili powder. Now I've added my tamarind pulp. So I've used the ratio of 2:1, which means 2 parts of jaggery to 1 part of tamarind pulp. But if you want to change that, interchange that, you want to keep it equal, it's up to you. I always say cooking is your judgment and go by that. This is a very simple recipe. You just need to boil this for 5 minutes and you're done with your tamarind chutney. It's been about 5 minutes. This has been boiling and you can see that it's started to get a little thick, and that's all. You don't want to cook it for a very long time. You can set this aside and this will become a little more thick as it cools down. Moving on to the next product, the tikki, which is a very essential ingredient for this chaat. So what I did, I took potatoes and I grated them, and then I added my spices. So I've used coriander powder, garam masala, coriander leaves, green chili, black salt, regular salt and corn flour to this. So what corn flour does to this product is it gives it that binding, and it will make sure that your tikki does not burst open when it's cooking in hot oil. So that's the reason you add corn flour to this. So I checked my dough. I think the corn flour is a little less and I think it will burst open in my oil, so I just added it. So how can you tell when corn flour is enough? It is basically that your potato mixture seems like a dough, and when you roll it in your hands it does not break apart at all and it does not have any cracks. So I'm just gonna show you the trick how you can know your potato mixture is done. So when you take it in your hand and you roll it, you see how easily this is rolling. That's because it's formed like a soft dough right now, and you can see there's no cracks. That means it's done. So just make sure that you reach the stage where the potatoes don't get any crack or they're not very dry at all. Now we're just gonna roll all the balls and keep them aside. So I got about 14 equal sized balls, so I'm gonna separate 7 to 7 because I'm gonna use these for 2 recipes. So to make the tikki, you simply just have to take the ball that you rolled out and press it by both your hands. You can see how this formed as a tikki. So this is what we call as a tikki in India, and you just need to fry this. Guys, one tip over here is that you should always keep your oil on medium flame and not on high flame. What will happen is if you keep it on high flame, it's gonna become brown from the exterior and gonna remain raw. Remember, we use some corn flour for this, so definitely you need to cook off the complete product. You don't need to give it any rawness, otherwise your product will just get spoiled and all the hard work will go to waste, and then you will complain that probably I did not give you the right recipe, but I did. So that's what you need to do, fry it on medium flame. So now I have been turning my tikkis regularly for 3 minutes and you can see they've become brown. So I'm just gonna take them aside and keep them aside to use in the final assembly stage. And after this we're gonna move to the next step. So I know there's a lot of preparation that goes into this recipe, but I purposely chose such recipes where I could show multiple products in one recipe itself. And now we're making the papdi. So I've taken my refined flour. You can use whole wheat flour if you want. You can bake the product also if you want, but I'm showing a fried version. So I took refined flour. I've added salt, carom seeds, also known as ajwain, and kasuri methi. Kasuri methi is dry fenugreek leaves. If you get it, it's okay. If you don't, it's okay as well. But remember, it adds a very good flavor. So now we're gonna start adding water little by little. So we are looking to make a stiff dough for this one. You should never make a soft dough for a papdi, otherwise it will become soggy immediately the moment you take it out from heat. So that's why it's always better to keep this dough quite stiff. So I'll also show in the video further how you can know that your dough is stiff and you don't need to make it any soft or hard. So if you learn this basic trick, your dough is always gonna come out fine. So one trick to know is that when you press it down, it doesn't come up immediately. That means your dough is stiff enough and you need to keep it aside. So now we're gonna begin rolling our product. So I've taken a bit of my dough and I'm gonna roll it. Remember, you should not use any flour to roll this, otherwise what will happen, the moment it goes into the oil, it's gonna leave its flour and the oil is gonna become cloudy. So that's not what you want. Just dip it in a bit of oil and you can begin rolling it. So that's what I've done. I dipped it in a bit of oil that was already there in the pan. Now one thing which you need to do is you need to pierce this using a fork or a toothpick or anything you have. So what this will do is it will stop the papdi to fluff up when you put it in hot oil. Otherwise what will happen is it will fluff up and you'll not get a crispy. It will actually become like a kachori, which you don't want. You want a flat papdi for this one. So again guys, I've heated my oil at medium. Remember, for all these cooking you need to heat your oil to medium and not on very high heat. Otherwise it will become brown very immediately and it will always remain raw from the center. So keeping on medium heat is the trick. So I had room, so I put in the second papdi as well. If you have room you can put multiple more. If you have a big kadai you can put more than 2 also. So you can see it's brown. So it took about 4 minutes for papdi to cook and you can remove this and set this aside. You can make this of different sizes as well. If you want to make a bigger one, you can do that as well. I'm going to show you. The procedure is the same. You just need to take a bigger piece of dough and roll it out bigger and just fry it in a similar manner. So guys, I made a really big papdi for this recipe. You can do this too because I wanted to present it in this way. It's completely your judgment. If you want to crush and use it, you can go ahead. I'm just going to show the way I have assembled it. So we're going to use all the recipes from the previous part of the video. The tamarind chutney, the green chutney, the papdi, the aloo tikki, and we're just going to assemble it. So it's very self-explanatory right now. If you have any questions, please feel to ask me in the comment section and I'll be glad to assist you. That's it guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us on Hungry Roots, and I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you enjoyed the recipe, please give us a thumbs up and show us your appreciation. Also, if you have already subscribed to us, hit the bell icon and stay connected with us and do not miss any upcoming videos. And please subscribe to us if you haven't, definitely, and also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Our IDs are on the next page. It's chef_ with a tattoo. Thank you so much guys for all the love. Love you all. Take care, stay safe, and God bless you.